Now, let's start with using the discriminant on 9.7. So our goal here is to use the discriminant to determine the number of solutions of a quadratic equation. In the previous lesson, a lot of our solutions in the homework and the examples that we did were two solutions where it crossed the x-axis at two places. And I'm going to try to make the definition of the discriminant pretty darn easy. So do you remember this one? Again, this is the quadratic formula with a couple people standing under it. So what we're going to do is we're actually just going to lift the discriminant out of this. And I will select just this part right here, the b squared minus 4ac. That thing right there is called the discriminant. And I'm going to get the rest out of here so it's not confusing. This b squared minus 4ac is the discriminant. Now what the discriminant does for us is it tells us how many times the parabola crosses the x-axis. In other words, how many solutions there are. And to give you an illustration here, this is something I might recommend jotting down. Sometimes, and this I'll start with from the right to the left, a lot of times we're used to, so far, the parabola coming down, hitting the x-axis twice, and we say that there's two solutions. There's one there, one there. But there are going to be times where it just comes down and brushes right on top or right on the x-axis, and there's only one solution. We'll see some of those. And then sometimes it comes down and it never hits the x-axis. Well, that means that there are no solutions. Now, how we solve that, I don't want to graph all those, so we use this thing called the discriminant to make it a little easier to see. And once again, I might recommend jotting this down here, and you could do real quick sketches. This is showing no solutions. When it just comes down and touches it, it's called one solution. And when it does what we've seen before, where it crosses twice, it's called two solutions. So here are the rules we're going to work with today. When we talk about the number of solutions of a quadratic equation, we're still talking about that standard form we've seen before where it's 0 on the right side, and over here it's ax squared plus bx plus c. And we should be able to pull out from there an a and a b and a c. So here's our deal. If we have whatever's in that b squared plus 4ac, if all that right there comes out positive, which is a lot of what we've seen so far, we're going to say that it has two solutions. We're saying that it's going to cross twice on the graph. Now, and I'm talking about cross x-axis. So the other thing that might happen is this b squared minus 4ac might come out to 0. Now, if it ever comes out to 0, here's what we say. We say that it has, oops, let's try that again. We say that it has one solution. Now, if the value of that b squared minus 4ac comes out to a negative, then what's going to happen is it's never going to cross the x-axis, and it has no real solution. In case you're wondering what the real solution is, there are actually solutions, but they are not maybe numbers we're too familiar with right now. So we're going to say it has no real solution.